G'day everyone, Rach here from Rara Stitching Realm. Welcome to another Flosstube for my year of samplers. It's been about 18 days since my last Flosstube. What was that? It's been about something since my last something. That's going to bug me now. That's a saying from something. It's been about something days since my last something. What is it? I can't remember. Anyway, I digress. G'day to new subscribers and hello to those returning, and I can see the camera moving. Take my arm off the table. You are precariously balanced on a pile of crap. My desk is full of stuff. I've got my diary open because I can't even remember what I've stitched in the last 18 days. And we've had a huge crisis in this household. So, which did lead to some pathetic stitching. Literally, I'm looking at the diary now, a couple of days after the last Flosstube, my cats got out. Now, we've had them since October and they have been inside cats, and to be perfectly honest, if it was up to me they would be inside cats, but around about a few days after the last Flosstube they got let out. I feel, my instinct is that my mother had cramp. There was evidence that she had been trying to deal with cramp when I got up in the morning. And in the past she has gone outside to bang her leg on the concrete, on the cold concrete, and I think she did that and either knew or didn't know the cats had also got out. And I did not know. I heard a noise at my window, but at that point I wasn't aware there were missing cats. Yeah, I became aware that I wasn't being woken up for breakfast. So one cat was gone for 24 hours. She came back at 1:30 in the morning, and when I heard her at the window, I was obviously alert to this point that I knew that I was listening out for meowing or anything like that. I had walked the neighbourhood, I'd been to the block, we have showgrounds nearby, been through the showgrounds. They weren't coming to being called. So at 1:30 in the morning she came back and she tried to break in the window, but it's only a little crack. But that noise was the noise I heard in the morning. So someone had come back in the morning, but I didn't know at that point that I was missing cats. So she came back after 24 hours and he came back. He actually arrived back the next night in the evening. In the daylight I saw him. We're in a cul-de-sac here. I'm at the end of a cul-de-sac and there's an alleyway to the next cul-de-sac over. And I saw him come through the cul-de-sac, but he got spooked by me going out by the front door, because that always makes him run away and hide. And I just didn't even think, I just saw him and I went. So he then disappeared for another few hours and then came back in the evening in the dark. He wouldn't come in. He wanted to play with the bugs outside. He wanted to play with the neighbourhood cats. He sat just out of reach and meowed at me and rolled around for me to tickle his tummy, but he was just out of reach. And he just talked to me, but he wasn't coming home yet, Mummy. And then at 1:15 in the morning, I gave up. About 11 o'clock, I said to myself, he's here, I know he's all right, I'm going to bed. I can't stay up all night waiting for him. And about 1:15, he tried to break in the window as well, and he came in. So that was stressful. So I didn't stitch for a couple of days. So then I had to catch up. And I ended up sort of doing a length of thread. There were 3 projects, I think. Sarah Casey, no, I think that was the night that they went. So Jane and Mary and Sarah, the last 3 of my rotation, I basically did a length of thread on each one for a couple of days until I got to the end of the rotation, and then I'm like, right, that's it, we're going to start project 1 as normal. So I think I've got 5 things to show you. It might not be brilliant. I did photograph everything at the end of the rotation, but that won't apply to the first 3, so they'll have earlier photos. There will be some photos that will show you what they looked like the last time you saw them, and hopefully I can remember what I did. So I haven't pulled them out, so I will be reaching down. So Sarah Casey Unwin. Right. So that is what she looked like, and I was working, which way around is it, in the border around here. So I might have got the vine done, possibly. Did you hear that? There is a cat trying to come into the office as well. Stop bumping the camera. So I feel that, I don't know if you saw the finished border completely. That's the top third of the chart. It comes in 6 pages. So this is pages 1 and 2. So I think that's the border is done completely, and I did that star thing that matches. Yeah, so I'm not 100% certain what you had seen and not seen last time. This I got, this doesn't have a label on it. Oh, I've got the needle on it, that's why it's funny. This came kitted from Country Sampler in Wisconsin. So I would imagine it's, unless it's their own conversion, which I'm not 100%, I don't think it is actually. The threads are what's on the chart, so this is probably what's called for. So, and it will be, can I tell, 36 count. Okay, so then the next one was Jane. Okay, now let me get my little bags here. They actually should be in order, but I don't think they are. No, there's nothing to show on that one. Just put that down there. So, does that say Fire and Family? Yep, so that must be the next one. Jane Marshall is a Hands Across the Sea. Where's the cover page? That is Jane Marshall, just a small sampler. And I was up to the row that's got 7 at the end. What I think I have done, now I've got threads everywhere. This is also being done on 36 count. 36 count vintage country mocha with the called for DMC. I think what I have done, the yellow and red at the bottom, you either saw the red and I've only done the yellow, or I've done the red and the yellow. I think that's it. Until I look at the picture, I'm not sure. I'm going to have come up with a better way of figuring it out. So next off the rank was Mary Wear It, and I got done, I think that you last saw it with, where is her cover? I think it's all folded up in this, isn't it? Oh, there it is. When you saw it, I think I had got either this and this, or this and this, and maybe some of that. I hadn't done this side, I think. So all I did, I need to cut this bit of fabric, I don't need the whole thing. Which is the right way around, this way around. I didn't quite, frustratingly, and I think it's because I got to the end of the rotation, I didn't quite get to the end. So I've got 1, 2, 3, I think, trees left to do. And then obviously start in the middle. So this is on Can I tell? Without magnification. I think this is a 32 count. Something. Might be lamb's wool. With the called for. Am I doing the called fors? I think so. DMC. I apologise. And the last project in the rotation is Sarah Watson, I want to say. I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. Yeah, Sarah Watson. Where's her cover picture? She's just fallen on the ground. This is a Whilst Iris Naps chart, which is a downloadable chart. And I reckon, where is she? Okay, so I believe what you last saw is the first row, the decorative row, the second row, and all I ended up doing was the next decorative row under the numbers there. I don't think I've done anything else. So this is on 36 count light mocha with DMC, I believe. So that is that. Then turn the page. We came to the start of the rotation again, and that is Lucy Calcutt. Right, so just to keep the timeline in order, so we are the 10th, so that was the 5th, this is the start of the rotation. Most of last week we made the decision that we're going to introduce the cats to the outside, but they've already done it, they know how to come home. It'll take a lot of stress off if they're in and outdoor, and we don't have to worry about mum letting them out and things like that. So I've spent a lot of time outside being there while they explore, and yesterday was the first time that I stayed inside while they were outside, and they had their longest stint. So I haven't done a lot of stitching there either. So it can only get better, right? Okay, Lucy, dear old Lucy. It's going to take me forever and a day. So, this is Lucy Calcutt. Is this the right one? 1825, yes. And I am working on this motif here. Now, so what I did with Lucy, because it clashed with the cats and I wasn't going to stitch outside, I did a little bit of stitching. Initially they went out, they came in, they went out again. So when they were in, I stitched what I could. I'll probably just fold it into thirds. I think it's the easiest. This is a big, like 28 piece. God. So what I worked on is the basket for this motif here. I had just got a little bit done when you last saw it, and then I had outsides with the cat, and then it came to Gwen's turn. So what I did is that was yesterday, was Gwen. And because I was inside and the cats were out and I was okay, I just worked on Gwen, and because I knew what I was doing with that, I have a plan. So this is Gwen. She is a New Zealand sampler, and this was reproduced by Sam of Mind My Needle for a Wellington retreat, I think it says up there, last year, and I was able to get a copy of it. So I worked on that yesterday. Da, da, da! and I finished it. Please don't tell me you can see something wrong. I've looked and looked, everything looks fine, I've done everything. I was uncertain about whether or not I would do a border, but I think by the time if I do that, I don't know if I'm going to cut things off. By the time you put a mat round it and a frame, I think it will be fine. So this is what I worked on yesterday while the cats were outside. I basically had I can't remember where I started at. I had something I needed to finish. Okay, so I needed to just finish a little bit on this row, and then I just had this. And I just got on and did it. Today is meant to be a Gwen day, so I'm going to give that to Lucy. I'll do another day of stitching on Lucy today, although I've got a lot of editing stuff to do, so I may not get much stitching done. But I've got my first finish of the year. I started her on the 4th of January and finished her yesterday, so the 9th of March, a couple of months. Could have finished her quicker. There was certainly at least one rotation 3-day slot where I was very lax. So yeah, really pleased with that, and that means I have a hole in my rotation now. As I say, today is the last day of Gwen, so I'll just work on Lucy when I do some stitching at some point today. The America's Cup yacht racing starts this afternoon, so I'll probably do a bit of stitching while I watch the yachting. And then the rotation will carry on as normal. So it'll be next time round there'll be a new start. So what I thought I would do is show you what I've got kitted sampler wise. I haven't organised anything, like I've got loads of charts, but I haven't kitted them up yet. So I thought I would pull out, I've got a lovely pile of mess on the floor. I'll pull out the samplers that I've got kitted, and these are primarily what I've received from the schoolgirl, ABC schoolgirl club thing from Country Stitches in Wisconsin. And from this pile I need to choose the next sampler. So the first one is Dolly Fowles 4 Lion sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. So that is a stitch count of 285 by 323 on 36 count, which it will come with. It's 15 by 18, so it's a decent size. Those are the colours. Oh dear, I wonder if you heard that. Then I also have by Shakespeare's Peddler, Mary Finney, 1832, Adam and Eve's House. That's that one. The border's quite nice on that, but there's a lot of very light stitching. I'm not sure if that will bug me. Those are the colours. The stitch count on that is 221 by 234, so it's smaller. On 36 count it's 12 1/4 by 13. So do I have a piece of yeah. As an example, that's a by 12, so it's in that range, a little bit longer in one direction. Then I have Descending Sun by Samplers Not Forgotten. Nice red house. Those are the colours. I like the colours on this. Can we figure out the stitch count? 170 by 147. So possibly favouring this at the moment because of the size. Oh yeah, and I still have this that I've not done. S. Ward, Shakespeare's Peddler, and that is actually kitted. Now I have tried to start this before and I got stuck with how much allowance to leave before I started. Like, I have a little 3x3 template that I use at the top of the corner to work out where 3 inches in and down is. What I couldn't work out with this is how much allowance there is. So if you've actually done it, do you know? I couldn't find anywhere to say what it is. I didn't know. I had a real brain block figuring out how to start it. The next one I have is Queenstown Sampler Design Sarah Comfort 1810. And I bought that kitted. This was kitted up by a shop here in New Zealand, and it's on 28 count with garden gate. Not sure about that. This one is the latest Schoolgirl Sampler Society Club. This is also a Samplers Not Forgotten, and it's Mary Griffin 1824. I've just seen someone's finished this on Instagram, I'm not sure who. Those are the colours. Actually, those colours are very pretty too. That's a big piece of fabric. 265 by 265. Okay. On 40 count. This is 36 count linen. Okay. I believe there's a lot of over 1 on this though. And the last one I have kitted up is Mary Plenderleith 1835, created by Needlework Press for the Sampler Club. I quite like that. And get that piece of paper out of the way, because those colours are quite nice too. Those are very pretty. Look at that hot pink. That one is with a stitch count of 147 by 221. So that's not too bad. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to choose yet. Those are all I've got kitted up in the sampler variety. I could do something else in Presidential Blue, because I have plenty of skeins of that, and I can hopefully pick up some raw linen here if I don't have a piece. Like I'm thinking something out of Ooh La La, Blackbird Designs. So we'll see. You'll find out in another rotation's time what I choose. Feel free to shout out what you like the idea of. I can't guarantee I'll listen. Hello, foot. There's a foot under the door. Anyway, okay, I shan't dilly-dally any longer. That is it. I haven't brought anything else, obviously. I haven't brought anything. There are a few PDFs that I want to get. The Shakespeare's Peddler releases, Teresa's releases. I was meant to do that today. They should be available now. I think she said they would be available on Tuesday, her time, which is Wednesday my time. So I'm hoping to have this video out today on the 10th. So she's got, I think, 6 releases, of which there are 2 or 3 I'm definitely interested in. Yeah. Anyway, that is it, the plan. So I'm going to work on Gwen. It's Gwen's last day today, but she's done. So I'm going to work on Lucy today, and then the rotation will carry on as normal, and I will be back on the 20th with an update of where I'm at. Yeah, okay, well, have a good stitching 10 days, everyone, and I will catch you then. Bye for now.